from a seizure in February 2021 at the age of 68. His passing shook the family to its core. Billy had been more than a father. He was a visionary who had built their off-grid world from scratch, the man who instilled in his children a love of the land, a fierce independence, and an unshakable faith. Without him, the family center of gravity shifted dramatically, and the future that had once felt certain suddenly became uncertain. Adding to the weight of personal tragedy were ongoing legal troubles. In 2014, a Juneau grand jury had charged several Brown family members with permanent fund dividend fraud and theft spanning multiple years. Two of the brothers faced house arrest and restitution fines after being found to have stolen more than $21,000. Though the family navigated these legal battles as best they could, the damage to their public image lingered, adding another layer of pressure during an already turbulent period. While the wilderness tested Noah physically, it was his personal relationships that revealed the depth of his character. Over multiple seasons, viewers watched his sensitive side emerge, a vulnerability that stood in striking contrast to his rugged outdoorsman image. Noah held traditional views on courtship, favoring deliberate, thoughtful gestures over modern dating conventions. He was known for writing formal letters to express his feelings, believing that putting words on paper allowed a person to share their truest self. This quiet romanticism painted a picture of a man who longed for deep, authentic connection, not just adventure. His relationship with a woman named Christy became one of the show's most emotionally resonant storylines. Despite a promising start, the couple struggled to find common ground, and the relationship ultimately ended under the weight of family tensions and personal differences. Noah was candid about the heartbreak, telling viewers that he believed Christy was a soulmate, making the pain all the more acute. His willingness to speak openly about emotional hurt endeared him to fans in a way that his wilderness exploits alone never could. In the aftermath of that heartbreak, Noah channeled his feelings into creativity. Known among fans for his poetic streak, he spent time at a handmade writing desk crafting verses and fashioning unusual keepsakes, including heart-shaped gifts made from preserved deer hearts stored in mason jars. His father famously found the habit unsettling, but the dynamic spoke volumes about their relationship, warm, complex, and deeply human. Noah also discovered music as an outlet, teaching himself to play both guitar and piano, finding in melody a peace that the wilderness could not always provide. Then came rain. Noah and Rain's relationship marked a turning point in his personal life, bringing with the stability and joy he had long been searching for. The birth of their son Elijah gave Noah a new sense of purpose, one that shifted his priorities from individual survival to family protection. A second child, Adam, would follow not long after, further anchoring Noah to his role as a devoted father and husband. These new responsibilities would ultimately shape the most consequential decision of his life. When the 2020 fires destroyed the mountain homestead, Noah did not hesitate. With Rain and Elijah to protect, he made the difficult choice to rent a house in Washington state, a decision that represented a seismic shift from everything he had known. For a man whose identity was so deeply tied to the wilderness, trading the open mountains for a modest rental home was an act of profound sacrifice. Noah took to social media to explain the situation honestly, heading off rumors of family conflict before they could take hold. He was clear. The move was not the result of personal disputes or falling out with his family. The wildfire had simply left him no other option. North Star Ranch would always be home, he insisted, but temporary relocation was necessary while they rebuilt and recovered. That transparency earned him enormous goodwill. Fans appreciated his honesty and rallied around the family during their time of need. The birth of baby Adam shortly after the move served as a powerful symbol. New life rising from the ashes of devastation, hope persisting where despair might easily have taken hold. Now settled in the Pacific Northwest, Noah Brown is writing a new chapter, one defined not by wilderness survival, but by the quieter, equally demanding work of building a stable and meaningful life for his family. The rugged mountains of Alaska shaped who he is, and that identity has not been abandoned. It has simply been adapted to meet the needs of a changing world. He remains deeply connected to his roots, speaking often of the lasting significance of North Star Ranch and the values his father instilled in him. But the demands of raising young children in safety and security have required a different kind of courage, the courage to let go of a dream when circumstances demand it and to build something new with whatever remains. Beyond the homestead, fans have discovered new dimensions of Noah's personality, his musical talents, his reflective creativity, and his quiet commitment to family paint a portrait of a man who has grown far beyond the fearless adventure the cameras first captured. He is, at his core, someone who understands that true survival is not just about battling the elements. It is about enduring loss, honoring the past, and finding the strength to begin again. Noah Brown's story is one of adventure, heartbreak, and remarkable resilience. It is a reminder that the greatest journeys are not always the ones that take us deeper into the wild. Sometimes they are the ones that bring us back to ourselves. Noah Brown captured hearts across America as the fearless adventurer of the Alaskan wilderness, a man who could brave extreme weather, outsmart wild animals, and navigate the unforgiving wild with nothing but his wits and rugged skill. But behind the beard and the survival charm lies a story filled with heartbreak, tough decisions, and a family torn apart by tragedy. What happens when living off the grid no longer feels safe, and a dream turns to ashes, literally? Noah's journey from a remote North Star ranch to a new life in Washington state is ultimately a tale of loss, resilience, and unexpected new beginnings. Noah Brown's story begins far from the rugged mountains that brought him fame. Born on July 18, 1992, in the warm climate of Texas, his life took a dramatic turn early on when his father, Billy Brown, uprooted the family and settled near Alaska's Copper River. From the age of 12, Noah was fully immersed in the wilderness, growing up alongside his 6 siblings in an environment that shaped every fiber of who he would become. This was no ordinary childhood. It was one defined by the harsh realities of nature and the deep bonds forged through shared survival. Raised in a devout Christian household, Noah and his siblings were taught to work hard, respect the land, and find meaning in the natural world around them. Formal education took a back seat to practical survival skills. His mother, Amy Brown, homeschooled the children while managing the many challenges of remote life, ensuring they received both academic grounding and wilderness wisdom. Noah learned to fish, hunt, navigate dense forests, construct shelters, and find clean water, skills that would later make him a standout television personality. The Alaskan wilderness was not a gentle teacher. The Brown family faced severe weather, medical emergencies, and the constant threat of isolation. When Amy was diagnosed with lung cancer, the family rallied together, their bonds deepened by adversity. These shared struggles forged in Noah a deep respect for family above all else, a value that would guide every major decision of his adult life. The Browns might have remained hidden from public view had Discovery Channel producers not stumbled upon their extraordinary way of life. In 2014, the network approached the family with a novel idea, and on May 6 of that year, Alaskan Bush People premiered, introducing viewers to a world few had ever seen. The show blended rugged reality with genuine familial love, and Noah emerged as one of its most compelling figures. From the very first episode, audiences were drawn to his fearless attitude and inventive survival instincts. Whether building shelters from logs and branches, foraging for food, or demonstrating fire-starting techniques with flint and dry twigs, Noah embodied toughness with a warm, human heart. His outgoing personality and playful humor made him instantly likable, and fans eagerly followed his exploits across harsh Alaskan landscapes. The series was not without its critics. Some questioned the authenticity of its so-called reality, claiming certain scenes were staged. But the Browns maintained their appeal through sheer personality, earning multiple show renewals and expanding their filming locations to include Washington state. As the seasons progressed, Noah evolved from an enthusiastic bushman into a fully realized family man, open about his struggles, relatable despite his rugged image, and genuinely vulnerable in ways that made audiences feel deeply connected to him. Noah's reputation as a master of living off the land was well earned. Like a real-life MacGyver, he built shelters from raw timber, hunted in dense forests, and caught fish with his bare hands. His resourcefulness was central to his appeal, and the wilderness tested him in ways that went far beyond what any camera could fully capture. Dangerous encounters were a regular part of life. On one occasion, after narrowly escaping a grizzly bear while repairing his fishing nets, Noah performed emergency field surgery on his own wounded hand, all while maintaining his trademark humor and upbeat spirit. Freezing temperatures made basic tasks like hunting and fishing brutally difficult. There were stretches where food and water were dangerously scarce, forcing him to ration carefully and improvise constantly. A particularly fortunate discovery of a hidden supply stash helped him survive one especially brutal winter. Living off the grid also meant navigating complex social and legal terrain. When a local hunting group accused Noah of using illegal traps on their land, he responded by setting up surveillance cameras around his shelter to prove his innocence. A savvy move that demonstrated both his awareness and his commitment to operating within the law, even in the remote wilderness. Through it all, Noah's positive attitude never wavered. He approached even the most dangerous situations with a light-hearted wit, using humor to balance the serious weight of survival. For viewers, this combination of emotional strength and genuine cheerfulness made him more than just a television personality. It made him a symbol of human endurance. In recent years, the Brown family's resilience has been pushed to its absolute limits. The summer of 2020 brought catastrophe when wildfires swept through Okanagan County, Washington, raging for an entire week and consuming the Browns' beloved Alpine house, a cozy mountain refuge that had come to represent the family's very identity. The flames reduced their carefully built homestead to smoldering wasteland, forcing a sudden, chaotic evacuation. They left behind not just possessions, but years of memories and a way of life built with their own hands. The wildfire's destruction was devastating enough on its own, but just months later, the family suffered an even more profound loss. Billy Brown, the patriarch and driving force behind the family's extraordinary lifestyle, died Fr.